Hello. Hi. Hi, hello. Hi, hello. Hi, Plapo. Thank you, Lucas, for the follow at 19 hours ago. What the fuck? I don't remember this at all. I was shit-faced drunk yesterday. I don't even remember much of what I did. Like, gameplay-wise. I do remember most things I did yesterday. Like, about as much as if I was not drunk. But... what I said during the stream, I know I faked giving my credit card ID. I know I went through the same areas like 5 times in a row, wondering why I wasn't finding my way around. And that's about it. That's about all I remember of what I did yesterday. So that's, not a lot of memories. I did also spend a lot of time on Discord after it. Okay. So, let's move to Umineko. Here we go. With good old paint open right now. I don't remember Reddit's new. Wait, was it because I put it on Eng? It is! It's because I put it on Eng. I forgot. And I made her eyes orange because... You know, snow. I could also just bring the smile from Snoo onto her. And the here's too. No, I think the ears would be too complicated to port over. Alright, I'm not good enough to do that, I think. Let me try. No, that works. That works. Yeah, that's perfect. Like, look, it's literally her. Yeah, that shit has a name. It's new. I think. I know this because this guy fucking keeps saying it. Right? It is that, right? Let me look. It's new with, yeah, with 2 O's. S-N-O-O. That's the name of this thing. That's what it's called. So, okay, we did this properly, right? Splendor Delta. Yeah. Yeah, listen, it's literally the same girl. It is literally the same girl. Even the name is Reddit Core. Yeah, Eng. Like, come on. Also Snoo, but like Eng. Right? She looks just like the Reddit Snoo. Holy shit. Can you believe this? Grrr. It's not my fault. It is not my fault. It is not my fault. It is my fault. Be alone. That's a website apparently. Let me click that. Leads to nowhere. I am not leaving her alone. Not after what she did. Not after what she did. She is forever branded as a Redditor. And I am not going back on this. I will never go back on this. Never. Ever. So, let's start the game. Let me close the music. There we go. Happy sniffer. If you said an IP grabber, I would be fucked right now, considering that I just clicked on it. You would just find out the city I'm streaming from, though, so like, you know, who cares? So when was the last time I streamed? That's this fucking scene. Yeah, I had to stop early after that one. We stopped right there. I had to stop early? No. I didn't stop early, I was like 4 hours in. I forgot. I was like 1 billion hours in. And, you know, fucking broke my ears. What the fuck was that? I think the volume needs to be a bit lower. This should be good, right? So yeah, we had just finished the chapter. So I'm gonna change the name. I'm gonna change the name because we're not 12 years later. We are not 12 years later now. We're finally gonna see Goldsmith meet the family, right, and talk with them. I want to see where that leads. So, it was already approaching 10 at night. By now, the typhoon had wrapped itself around Rokonjima. Even the rose garden that looked so beautiful midday was beaten down upon by the fierce winds and resisted with all its might, undulating and trying to keep the flowers from blowing away. Mustard! Excellently. In that rose garden was Shannon in the lead, Butler holding up an umbrella, Jessica and George carrying the sleeping Mary on his back, all heading for the guest house. Already? Okay, well, let's start by setting this up then. Right, this is gonna be the first time we use this for this episode. I spent a lot of time setting this one up, so I'm gonna use it. And believe I will use it. We're gonna place it here again. So right now, right, let's set this scene properly. This girl can go fuck herself. Those two, they are still a thing. Those two are still a thing. Like I'm gonna leave them out. Here we go. So most of them are out of here. They're probably still at the dinner. Like those two right there, probably still at the dinner. Cross is probably in the parlor room, or like in, you know, yeah, wherever they eat. I didn't put a dinner room at all. I don't remember where they eat. Do they eat in the parlor room? I'm not sure. Okay, so here is perfect, right? Those 5 are heading back to the guest house. Shannon in the lead, Butler holding up an umbrella, Jessica and George carrying the sleeping Maya, all heading for the guest house. Here we go. We can at least make it to the guest house from here. Shannon, it's fine. You should go back and rest. Okay. And those guys, I need to like properly set them up to like, you know, be somewhere more convenient for me. Would be above, right here. There we go. Don't worry, seeing you off is also part of my duty. Family conference is going on inside. Mom and Genji are probably getting stressed. If we keep you, they'll misunderstand and think we're being lazy. That's right. Just graciously accepting our offer might be the best way to avoid burdening people. Thank you, Shannon. Not at all. Certainly, as Milady has said, it is very tense inside the mansion today. Therefore, coming with all of you allowed me a breath of fresh air, and I've been able to relax a bit. Family conference, huh? They went to all the trouble of chasing us kids out. So we're probably talking about something shady. Probably. I'm sure there's nothing we can do to help out. Just trying to stay out of their way is probably the best way for us to be useful. George! You're 23! Stand up for yourself, goddammit. I'm sure it's all just money, money, money. Always sunny in a rich man's world. Even though they act like they're so rich most of the time. When it gets tough, they all start getting pushy. Why don't they just be graceful and split it evenly between everyone? That'd be awesome. It'd be nice if I got a share too. Give them some too. I'll split it with Shannon right away. Butler, don't hit on Shannon. Please. You probably don't know how old she is, but like... calm down. Thank you very much. I appreciate the sentiments. Shannon isn't greedy at all. Normally, girls of your age will have tons of things you'd want to buy. I guess, but none of the things I want can be bought with money. Oh, and selfish. If you lined up all the things I wanted, all the gold in the world wouldn't be enough. If you're talking about things that can be bought with money. I wonder what these things that can be bought with money that Shannon wants are. Look at this sprite of Jessica. Look at her sprite. It's such a cute sprite. I love it. I love her. I really do. Well, like, look. She's like showered by the rain, comes like, you know, on her face, and she's still making this face. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't that make you cry? Because it would. It would make me cry. Get Butler out as a picture. Here we go. She deserves a spot. She deserves a very big spot right here. Do you have any idea, George? Well, I wonder. Not Shannon, sir. How could I know? I don't know either. Waifu bait. George and Shannon looked down. The face is red. Butler had also heard what was going on with them, so he knew what Jessica was teasing them about. George is a person I respect. I think you met up with a really great person, Shannon. Yeah. I also feel relieved that we can leave Shannon to George. Stop teasing. It's a serious issue for us. Yeah, it is. It is a serious issue. More bluntly, what about you, Jessica? Have you been able to get a little closer to Canon? What? So you and Canon are like that? Like, every sprite of Jessica is cute. Like, look at this. Well, that's dirty, George. Twisting the conversation around like that. That's dirty. As they had an animated discussion with ups and downs, the four kids headed for the guest house. The annual family conference was extremely important to the Ushiromiya family, and this year seemed like it was going to be especially important. Apparently, the family head, Kinzo, was personally going to be making a very serious announcement, and everyone other than the adults had been strictly ordered to leave. Everyone other than the adults, okay. So does that include Genji? Butler hadn't attended the family conference in 6 years, so he didn't really notice. But according to Jessica, there seemed to be a very tense atmosphere tonight. Completely different from a normal year. Common sense made it clear that Kinzo, whose remaining life was short, was going to make some big announcement about the succession of the headship and the distribution of his fortune. Hello, Meta Butler. But I'm surprised. The thing that grandfather is actually gonna make an appearance. I see. So this is the witch's counterattack. Cackle, cackle, cackle. I wanted to leave the Joker called Kinzo face down a little longer, but it's probably about time to turn it over. He's about to appear to the family, yeah. I think the only person that saw him before, right, in the past, the only people that saw him were Genji, Natsui in episode 1, Cross occasionally. Cross and Natsui just in general. No one else ever saw Kinzo. Besides Shen and Genji and Canon. Like, that's different. Big furniture. Right? Nanjo too. True, good point. Nanjo. So it's like... It's the first time that, like, more than half the family is ever gonna see him, right? Like, that's like... 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 19 are gonna see him for the first time. Well, not the kids, but you get what I mean. Some cards exist to be used. Cackle, cackle. Damn. My theory that grandfather was dead since the beginning. And a different 18 person that snuck in. Suddenly torn apart. Not really. I foreseen that you'd begin to doubt Kinzo eventually. Yes, and then your reasoning has all gone back to square one again, right? With this, your theory that Kinzo was dead at the very beginning, and I was hiding as an 18th person goes poof. Cackle, cackle, cackle. Not really. Fuck. But no way I'll lose heart. That's only one theory gone. I'll attack you like a storm, like a tornado. Cackle, cackle. I'd have it no other way. Even the first twilight has not yet begun. It is far too early to give up. That's right. And it's not like it was denied with the red truth. Yes! She's still smart. At this point in time, that was Fury hasn't been defeated. It's too early to say that you won. Yeah, that's right. It's still too early for me to just swallow her story. Grandfather is supposed to finally appear. If there's a chance that we'll talk about how his health has gotten worse, it won't appear at all. Uncle Cross may be trying desperately to hide the fact that grandfather really is dead until the last second. I see, I see. You could also think of it that way. Do as you please. It will be resolved soon. Very soon. Cackle, cackle. What is she gonna do? Beatrice, what are you gonna do? You're being scary right now, you shouldn't do that. All of the relatives and Nanjo. Okay, I like the framing. Could be seen in the dining hall. Nanjo sat alone, quietly watching the wind and rain outside. Cross sat down in the seat of his own rank. Natsui standing motionlessly at his side. So, I'm gonna note it down right now because I feel like the first twilight is gonna happen soon. Right? Like, everyone in the family is going to be right here. I'm gonna call the parlor room like the dinner room, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Get them all here. Might be a bit too early, but, you know. All of the relatives, all of them. And Nanjo. It does, I think, not the servants. We would have mentioned it if the servants weren't included. You need to be smaller. Nanjo, thank you. Natsui. Go right here. And that's it. Right? That's everyone. Okay. Greetings. Triviki, what's up? How are you doing? Cross sat down in the seat of his own rank, and Natsui standing motionlessly at his side. The other siblings were gathered at the opposite end of the long table, whispering to each other. Is that true? Yes. Maya said, the person who gave us the umbrella was father. What? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Okay. Okay, I guess. He just went for a walk. The fuck? I just beat the main boss of Hades 2 and feeling triumphant. Good job. I've not played Hades, so I wouldn't know like anything about it at all. I've never played any Hades. I wanted to play Hades on stream, then I decided that I wouldn't because I do not. I decided in advance, before even seeing any gameplay of it or any footage, that I would not like it, and therefore I don't like it. And I'm not being ironic. That's the worst part. I can't bring myself to play it because I told myself that I wouldn't like it. And I can't get past that for some reason. What in the world? No words. Our strategy has collapsed from the roots. Not just our strategy. In February, Zelki said he'll make an announcement himself. Or trivial bargaining with Nissan was completely pointless. Yep. That little bastard. Why couldn't he have just shown himself right away without making a show of it? Thanks to that, we've just been quarreling with brother, uselessly. Or maybe he wanted to test us on that point. I might not be one to talk, since we aren't related by blood. But your father is very intelligent, correct? Our arguments during the day were probably overheard by one of the servants and reported to father. Incredible! The fact that we were making a fuss with father's inheritance as our goal is now right in the open. Just incredible. Divine characteristically held her head, dejected. If, as Kiri had said, everything had been going according to Kinzo's plans from the very beginning, and if this was a huge setup that had been kept up for over a year, trying to find the siblings' true intentions, then they had fallen for it completely. We still don't know for sure that it's reached father's ears. No, definitely yes. Everyone but brother claimed that father was dead, and none of us believed in father's good health. It's already over. Father will make an announcement. Cross will become the successor, and he'll say we aren't even qualified to wear the one wing. Oh, Sister, get a hold of yourself. Rosa, I wonder if Maya really received that umbrella from father. Huh? What do you mean? Maya might have seen father. However, we haven't seen him. Maya only has claims to have seen him. What are you saying? Are you saying Maya's lying? Calm down, Rosa. Maya didn't necessarily lie. I mean, if Beatrice came up to Maria and told Maria, yeah, tell everyone that was Kinzo, she probably would. Still, she's an innocent kid, right? For example, if Genji came up to her and said something like, I was told by your grandfather to end this to you, Maya. And even if Maya hadn't met Dad, you might say that she got an umbrella from him, right? That's true. That's right. That trick could work. Well, what is it Maria said? Grandfather came and handed me the umbrella. Yes, that's what she said. She clearly said that she received an umbrella directly from grandfather. Directly, huh? Then we're stuck. They often say that bad thinking is no better than sleeping. If you think about it a bit, all of this about the umbrella is a trivial problem. Why is that? Should Maya have been bribed by Cross to lie and say something that made it seem like father was in good health? There is no evidence that father actually handed the umbrella to her. Regardless of whom Maya received the umbrella from. Assuming she was even given an umbrella in the first place, father will appear very soon. Once father is in front of us, the problem with the umbrella will become completely trivial. In other words, this is not the time to gossip about the umbrella issue. What do you mean this isn't the time? Yeah, she means that you can only gossip about it once Kinzo doesn't show up. That's probably what Kirsten's saying. If we're supposed to come here very soon, the chance they'll get mad again and won't show up, right? I see, that's true. Maybe brother just said Vaver was going to appear at random in a desperate bid to buy time against our investigation. Vaver really is dead already. And brother is still lying and saying he's healthy. In short, if Vaver appears, then no schemes will be effective. There's no need to even think about that case. We're fish on the shopping board. We'd have no choice but to leave fate to the heavens and negotiate directly with Faber. That means we'd have no choice but to let him clobber us with his fist, then prostrate ourselves and beg for money. But on the other hand, if Faber doesn't appear, then our primary strategy isn't hampered in the least. Naruhodo. In short, I'm not sure which way it goes. There's absolutely no need to get flustered now. I mean, even besides that, like, I guess he just went for a walk, right? Just like a nightly walk in the rain. I get it. It's cool. I like walks in the rain, especially during a typhoon. That's it. If Faber shows up, we just have to carry out the normal family conference. If he doesn't, we just have to keep on investigating Cross. We won't let him talk his way out of it. Like if he says Faber's mood has suddenly gotten worse. We really should be trying to figure out is what scheme Nissan is going to try and trick us with. The way he just doesn't know to give up is something I know better than anyone. If Faber is well, we'll prostrate ourselves and beg for money. If it's a farce of Cross, then we'll continue our ugly sibling fight. Sounds like this year's family conference is going to be just wonderful. Yep. So bad thinking is no better than sleeping, huh? It's almost 22. So depressed, brother. Rudolph and the rest look at Cross. He was sitting down firmly and looked like he was awaiting Kinzo's arrival with an air of composure. They couldn't tell if he really was composed, or if he was scheming about how to tie together his lie. Dear. Calm yourself. We won't get anywhere by making a fuss after all. Let's leave it to Genji. It's almost 10, isn't it? That was the time that had been set for tonight's family conference to open. It was the time that the Ishimiya family head needed to appear. And he's just gonna bang down the door with a kick. It's gonna fall on the floor. What's up, bitches? He's gonna yell. And everyone will just like start falling on the ground. Completely blinded by how cool and amazing he is. And also Shrek reference, yeah. Shrek didn't even exist yet back then. Smash Mouth doesn't exist, it's only Shrek. Right then, we heard the sound of footsteps approaching from the hall. There were multiple sets. Let's raise our head, relieved. But because of the sound of a knock, our expression was filled with disappointment. Because Kinzo probably wouldn't have knocked. Please excuse us. I've finished closing up the mansion for the night. It was Goda and Kumasawa. So, Goda and Kumasawa are in the mansion too. This we've confirmed. And like the powerful Goda, it was rare for Kumasawa, but her whole body to be forced to work this late. Of course, Cross also seemed to know that. Indeed, good work. My apologies for making you work at such a time, Kumasawa. Oh, it's nothing. I mean, look at we're staying up late. It's still one of my specialties. Wouldn't it be okay to at least let Kumasawa leave without being an observer? It will really be difficult on a body, I imagine. The order was to gather all of the servants as well. I cannot disobey. Tonight's family conference was clearly different from normal. On a normal year, no one was allowed to attend except family member. To have the servants present for such a thing was unthinkable. But this year was different. All of the servants were told to attend. Of course, they were not allowed to talk. They were there as observers, Just what in the world was happening that needed to be observed by 5 servants? Even Cross didn't know. Oh, I don't look it, but I'm good at staying up late. If you stuff yourself a mackerel too, Cross, you'll be more manly at night. I see you're still in high spirits. I'm sure you'll be working in such high spirits until you're 100. I mean, she's probably like 5,000 years old or something, right? Because she's the predecessor. Which is such a bullshit reveal, and I do not believe it. Madam, forgive my arrogance, but I have prepared a light snack. I can serve it at any time, so feel free to order it. Thank you. You really are considerate. Oops. Leave the third refill of the coffee to the others. Certainly. After noting, Gora took the pot towards the relatives gathered at the other end of the table. As he did, more footsteps approached from the hallway. It was a single set, and it was light. Even before they knocked, could imagine who it was. Genji. Oh, Shannon. Excuse me. I've taken the children to the guest house. Good work. Okay. So, he's also in here. And those guys are going to be like together in here. Just gonna drag them in. Here we go. Good work. Tonight is a special evening. Make sure you stay alert. Yes, certainly, ma'am. Genji had gone with Cannon to meet Kinzo. There was still no sign of a return. The end of the clock passed 22 slightly. Unsure of that, Eva spoke to Cross. Brother, it's time! Are we still not going to start the family conference? The arrival of the guest of honor has been delayed by a short while. How long? Sorry, time's up. I won't have you saying Faber hasn't quite shown up yet over and over until dawn. How could I make a promise about the time Faber shows up? Why are you in such a rush? Why not drink some tea and calm down for now? We gathered here for a family conference. Not a farce. We'll wait 30 more minutes. Or if that doesn't work, you let us break into the study, okay? Break into? Such an action would be quite lacking a respect for the head. Alright. Our apologies. We'll be good for 30 more minutes. I look forward to seeing if you can keep that smile up. 30 minutes from now. So you honestly believe that Faber is dead? I have no desire to discuss that now. We can wait until Faber comes here. There's absolutely no need for me to argue you down, brother. The Ishiyama headship will be passed on to the proper person, in the proper manner. No matter what you may scheme, you cannot resist. Of course. The same goes for me. What are you trying to say? And after bragging all these years about being the successor yourself? I'll turn your own words back on you. I have no desire to discuss that now. All that matters is for Faber to come here and proclaim it with his own mouth. There's absolutely no need for me to argue down. Right? Cross casually turned Eva's words back on her. Of course, that added oil to Eva's anger. But it didn't ignite. Because in that instant, the sound of a very loud knock rang out. Both Genji and Ken were usually very reserved when they knocked. They wouldn't hit the door with such a violent strength. It was like a judge's gavel slamming down in the call for silence. So everyone went quiet. The door opened slightly, and Genji showed himself. Then he spoke with a serious tone, different from his usual one. It wasn't the tone he used when carrying out his duties. It was the tone he used when speaking for Kinzo himself. So just by hearing Genji speak like that, the siblings were struck with sudden tension. Take your seats, everyone. At those words, the dining hall was wrapped in total silence, and everyone hurriedly returned to their designated seats. It was as though students who had been bustling around just before homeroom had suddenly returned to their seat when the teacher came. And it might even have looked humorous. There was no way anyone would joke about it. Everyone sat in order, and Shannon, Goda, and Kumasawa stood up straight in a row by the wall. Where's Kanon? Where's Kanon? Did Kanon die? The heir of the glorious Ushiromiya family, and Lord of Rokunjima, the island that sparkles gold, the Lord Ushiromiya Kinzo, has arrived. Of the double doors that led to the dining hall, Genji opened the right door from the inside, and Kanon opened the left door from the inside. Okay, so they're both here, and I'm guessing that in like 3 seconds, our good friend, our good friend Kinzo, not gonna be in the parlor anymore. He's gonna be right here. But does he actually show up? Holy shit! And welcomed by a respectful bow from those two, majestically fluttering escape, Kinzo appeared. Kinzo's gait had a dignified weight to it, and it was hard to believe that he had reportedly been at the end of his life. Genji pulled back Kinzo's seat and motioned for him to sit. But Kinzo stayed standing, signaling with his shin for Genji to move back. I'll let him laugh for himself. Welcome to Rokunjima, ladies and gentlemen. Why is a frightened face, Eva? No, why would I be frightened? I'm just relieved to find you in excellent spirits, Faber. Wait, he has fangs. Give me a second to check something. This is very important. I was wrong! I was wrong! All along! Holy shit, I was wrong! I can't believe it. I was wrong. He has a fang. Let's go! Fang Fury updated, yeah! We're actually finding it out. Slowly, we're finding out who has a fang or not. I think Kiri doesn't have one. I'm pretty sure those two don't. I need to like have a closer look. But everyone else doesn't. Maybe he does. Maybe Cross actually does. I don't remember. Okay. But let's continue. Eva, you're as amusing as ever, aren't you? Why don't you just honestly say how frustrated you are at losing your bet with Cross? You can't say it, can you? Eva realized that the conversation during the day had indeed been leaked to Kinzo, and she hung her head, turning red. Well then, my sons and daughters and their companions. Good night. I shall make an important announcement regarding my inheritance and the succession that you all seem so keen on. But first, I must tell you how incredibly disappointed I am. After all, until this very day, no one has been able to solve the riddle of the epitaph. Even though Kinzo said he was disappointed, a condescending smile rose to his face, as though there was no way the likes of these could have solved it, and his gaze passed through all of them. I had planned to hand over everything to the one who could solve it, but none have been able to solve it before today. Any resent, with nothing of mine passed down to anyone. Oh, shameful! To think that not one among you has come forward with the qualifications to succeed me. Oh, truly disappointing, and shameful, and pathetic! The siblings hung their heads in silence. Of course they would have solved it if they could. True, they couldn't deny that they'd wasted a golden opportunity, but it was just so hard. Therefore, I am proclaiming here and now that I will suspend the use of the Epitaph's riddle as a method of choosing my successor. What? Okay. Big? In short, time is up. This is game over. And what a shame for you all. Even though it should have given you all an equal and fair chance. That's gone now. You fools! Truly sounded like Kinzo was making a victory proclamation. In that case, will my oldest son Cross succeed the headship? The answer is no. What? You understand, right, Cross? That certainly gave you the title of successor. But all you did was let it go to your head. Do you know what a successor is? It means the person who will inherit your position after you, father. Wrong! The position of successor isn't something that's guaranteed by the current head at all. Listen up, Cross. I won't tell you this again. A successor is what you call someone who finds everyone else who's after the headship, thoroughly break their nose, and makes it so they can never disobey him again. This is not only something that can have been said of the headship, it's the same with money. A rich person doesn't mean someone with money. It means someone who crushes everyone who had more money than himself, who scrabbles together more money than anyone else. It's the same with talent. A genius is not what you call a person blessed with talent. It means a person who crushes everyone with more talent than themselves. That's controversial. That's not true. A person that can crush geniuses and all other people to call them. That, using strength and charisma. You have a mistaken impression when it comes to all of these things. So, you aren't of the right caliber to be my successor. It really went all in. This voice actor is great. I'll take your words to heart. Perhaps that truly was Kinzo's philosophy. As a result of faithfully carrying out that rent-like philosophy of his, Kinzo had glorified the Ushamiya family to the state it was in today. It may be hard to imagine after his immersion in the occult in recent years, but that brutally overbearing look was no more or less than Ushamiya Kinzo's charisma and aura. He has so much aura, holy shit. He's aura farming them right now. Like, he actually is, like, they literally stated it. My man Kinzo is currently aura farming this entire fucking room. Such an unsatisfactory person is not qualified to inherit everything of the Ushamiya family. In that case, is Eva, Rudolph, or Rosa qualified? Again, no. You were unable to solve the riddle, and you were also unable to use a scheme to drag Cross down. All three of you managed to do was gather together in a united front to try and extort money from Cross. And even that scheme was faultless. You can't even crown a Cross all by himself. It'd be nothing more shameful. You lack the virus to steal away the possession of successor by any means. So my successor will be George. Or he's taking after the best billionaire that exists, who's currently dead. Imi's currently alive in that timeline, or in that time, right? I'll leave it to you to understand what I'm saying and what I'm talking about, because I had the joke in mind and I do not know to complete it. So I won't. It's that easy. In order to get what you want, you should sacrifice everything, becoming as covetous and greedy as possible. the goddess of luck smiles upon the greedy. You three, who don't have the wild spirit, are as unfit for the succession as Cross is. Therefore, my successor is Battler Yushirimiya. Eva and the rest had no words to respond with, and we couldn't calculate what it was Kinzo was about to say. Was Kinzo actually going to proclaim that no one would succeed to hit ship? If so, that could work to Eva, Rosa, and Rudolph's advantage. After all, in the end, we just have to renegotiate everything around the siblings after Kinzo's death, leading the inheritance evenly. It would surely be more troublesome if a specific person's name was raised and proclaimed to be the successor. But would Kinzo really say something to benefit any of the four siblings after demeaning them so much? I don't think he's going to say that because no one will succeed him, he'll donate all of his fortune to charity or something, right? I'm afraid I wouldn't put it past Faber. The blood just ridden into his head. We can't do anything but let him talk for now. Well then, Faber, what thoughts do you have regarding the succession of the headship? Yes, I am so totally disappointed in all of you. I've lost the desire to hand it over to anyone. Therefore, the Yushirimiya family will end here. It ends with my generation. That cannot! The Yushirimiya family was crushed long ago in that earthquake. The current Yushirimiya family is nothing but an illusion of gold and glimpsing for an instant. The likes of which will end when I awaken from my slumber. Everything in this world is a dream, an illusion. Life is but a daydream before the awakening called death. Ah, yes, that's how it was from the very beginning. I should lose everything when I die was part of Beatrice's contract, and a curse. As if I let you, Beatrice. I will be the one who captures you. Tonight, that goal will be realized. Cackle, cackle. For a while, Kinzo was overcome with cackling, and his eyes bulged. Whenever he talked about Beatrice, it was always both eloquent and insane. Foolish children such as yourself truly are daydreams. It's as though you were never there from the beginning. Disappear! Wake up! Disappear from the dose of truth that I am. You failures that have not built up anything that makes you worthy to succeed me. Kinzo-san! If I may. What is it? My friend? Nanjo nervously raised his hand, asking to speak. Kinzo allowed him to. I understand how you feel, Kinzo. Because you love your children. You respect a lot of them. And as a parent and grandparent myself, I understand that parental affection can make you feel as though your expectations have been betrayed. However, you are extraordinary, Kinzo. A genius! Is it saying that it's only natural for them to catch up to you a little too harsh? Despite that, Cross, Eva, Rudolph and Rosa, and all of our partners have done their very best to catch up with you. Whoa! And just so much money have they built up with this doing their best. After this coverage fell completely in ventures and gained depth. Nanjo be riding Kinzo like crazy. I mean, Kinzo is probably like his biggest customer, right? With how much Kinzo needs medical advice right now, Nanjo is probably like fucking swimming in gold right now, which is why he's dick riding so hard. Also the fact that we're friends. Until try to sponge off me. How can you say that they did their very best? Money is a crystallization of everything in this world. If you cannot grasp that, then you cannot grasp the world. If a life cannot strongly grasp this world, it doesn't deserve to live. Disappear! Disappear from my life and reality. That's a reckless argument. With that logic, even I must not live. Even so, I believe the time I spent playing chess with you was worthwhile for both of us, Kinzo. You should know better than anyone else that there are many things in this world that cannot be bought with money. As the siblings motionlessly hung their heads, the shit ninja on inside their hearts. Not one of the siblings could offer their opinion in front of Kinzo in a rage, but Kinzo's close friend Nanjo alone was allowed to. Even though Kinzo had raged so fiercely, after being admonished by Nanjo, He did that several times as though in agreement. This surprisingly obedient side of him might have seemed cute, but there was no one here who could laugh. It may be true that children have built up as great a fortune as you have, Kinzo. Oh, even so, they're rich enough to make me jealous. But besides money, they've also built up many things that cannot be bought with money. When it comes to that, they are in no way inferior to you, Kinzo. Oh, what do you claim they all built up that cannot be bought with money? Friendship and brotherly and sisterly love. They all care about each other so much. A love that you can never experience because you were a dick to your family. Look at them. Look at how happy they all are. That's what he's gonna say. Happiness. Family. I have found wonderful partners, children, and each has built up their own happy homes. They have glorified your family name, and have brought back grandchildren. Grandchildren are wonderful. We older people can look at these young grandchildren. We'll live on into a new era that we will not even be given a chance to see. And in them, we can imagine an endless future. Isn't that the sole entertainment we have in our old age? Remember, Kinzo? Remember your joy when they first brought back the grandchildren? Your children and your grandchildren will carry your great works onto future generations, setting an example. That is something that an individual can accomplish, no matter how much money they have. The siblings all nodded in agreement. Certainly, Kinzo had looked happy when his grandchildren had just been born, back when he still had some sanity in his heart. However, did Kinzo's heart still contain a human's warmth? In other words, in exchange for the vast riches I created, instead of gaining money, I have gained my grandchildren? No, that's not why. In exchange for the several tens of billions in wealth that I have built up, I have gained a single grandchild from each of my children. This scene is great. This is wonderful. So I created a single life using 10 billion yen. That's all it is. Interesting. Truly an interesting example in the alchemical sense, right? Oh, what valuable grandchildren. Wonderful, wonderful. Is that right, Cross? Is your daughter worth 10 billion yen? Cross couldn't answer instantly. It wasn't that he didn't have confidence in his daughter. It was because he didn't have a clue what Kinzo was trying to test him with in this question. But when Natsui was then pressed for an answer, he responded, breaking Cross silence with an answer of her own interpretation. Yes! This guy's a daughter I wouldn't even let go of for even 10 billion yen. In that sense, I believe she has a value that can't be measured with money. Oh! So you can say it for certain that she's worth 10 billion. Ho ho! What about you, Eva? What about you, George? If Natsui had answered that way, Eva naturally came up with her own answer as well. But though Eva would have known better than to respond to a provocative question like this, she answered as well. Yes, father. Worth 10 billion. No, even more than that. It's not in the abstract sense of things money can't buy. All the kids are gonna die first, right? This is what's happening. All the kids are gonna die, like right now. Maybe one will survive. He's making all this announcement about the kids and whatnot solely because he's about to kill all the kids and like make a point that their lives are worth nothing. George will certainly build up a fortune equal to his worth. Become a grandson worthy of carrying on your great works, father. Eva sent a glance at Hideyoshi and Natsui, as if she'd scored a point. When she heard what Eva had said, Natsui was about to add more praise for her daughter, but stopped at a glare from Cross. I see. And what about you, Rudolph? What about your battler? Compared to George Kun, there's nothing about battler I can brag about. He was kidnapped and were threatened with a ransom of 10 billion. I felt like sticking a bow on the guy and letting them have him. Giggle, giggle. On top of that, He's an idiot and reckless. He talked about grand dreams and things that couldn't be done. I guess in that way, he's a super idiot, worth the equivalent of 10 billion normal idiots. But I'm sure that guy could do things that even a group of 10 billion average people couldn't do. I'm pretty sure he'll fall flat on his face. The world isn't easy. But at the very least, there's no doubt that watching over his life will be more fun than looking at 10 billion average people. If I clicked a tongue at that clever style of speech, which would probably match Kinzo's taste. Apparently, Rudolph had done that on purpose, so he grinned back at her. Oh, what of Maria? Maria's my adorable and only daughter. That value cannot be measured with money. That is all. I see. Dreams in the future, miracles and possibilities are the source of my magical power. No magical hopes holds any strength. I can't expect any more from you who have proven to be average. But I see. My grandchildren hold future possibilities, and expecting a magical miracle from them may be worthwhile. If you're saying that, this way, they are worth more than 10 billion? Yes, I can see where you're coming from. He's gonna kill every single... How many of them are there? Yeah, 7. Is he gonna leave one of them alive again? Is it gonna be like a repeat of episode 1 and 2, where all the adults except one are gonna die? This time I would bet on Kiri. When Kinzo got in rage, he wouldn't let anyone speak up. But even so, he would sometimes accept something of his own while yelling by himself, and change his own opinion. That's what this felt like to the siblings. Apparently, even though Kinzo had been disgusted by his unsuccessful children, and had cast him away as being unfit for his inheritance of his title or his fortune, he wasn't sure about his grandchildren. At his rate, he might soon say that the inheritance would go to his grandchildren instead of the siblings. As the siblings sat in fear of what their fickle and short-tempered father might suddenly think of next, he carefully watched his every move. Let me change my thinking a little. I have absolutely no desire to hand over all I have to any of you. However, it will be quite interesting to question the grandchildren, to see if one of them is qualified. I've always thought of them as mere kids, but there's a chance I'll find a shining gem amongst them. Or catch me off guard. Or they may all turn out to be coal. I will fucking kill them like the rest. Testing them for that would be... Yes. It would be a shame to abandon that final side trip in my remaining life. Well then, what shall I do? Again, with confidence, Ruben and George is someone fitting to follow after you. Stop dick-sucking George. I swear to God, I fucking hate George. He's like the worst character in Umineko. Fucking hate him. Eva claimed that right away. Yeah, die, Eva. Natsui looked like she was about to follow along, but Cross gave her a look telling her to restrain herself. So she swallowed the words. Oh, bold! Then let us do this! I will individually question the grandchildren to see if they are qualified to succeed to assure me a family inheritance and wealth. Ever? Forever! That does not mean that one of you will indirectly receive the inheritance. I am already disappointed in you all. There is no longer anything I have to give you. Not a thing. The ones I will question are my grandchildren. And the ones who might succeed me are my grandchildren. Make absolutely sure that you do not mistake this. Understood? I shall obey Father's decision. Same here. I'll go along with what he decides. What about you, brother? Sister? Of course! I believe Father will make a wise judgment. Will also obey Father's decision. I shall think of how to test my grandchildren, which means this is no longer any business of yours. After all, none of you are involved in succession in any way now. So we're right here, right now. Perhaps we should discuss a different matter that does involve you. What is he gonna say? Different matter? It's gonna be about murdering all of them, right? Obviously. Indeed. That's tonight's true purpose. And the true purpose for this final Ushirimiya family conference as well. I have no desire to hear your thoughts and opinions. I demand only your assistance. Assistance in my ceremony. Your ceremony? Quiet. Father's talking now. Rudolph and the rest had automatically narrowed their brows at the occult-like word. Would he be planning to start some strange ceremony involving Beatrice's resurrection again? 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 Okay. So that happened already. He tried something like this before. Let me... Okay. Good to know, I guess. Again, true, Gucci. What in the world was he planning to do? In the past, he had carried out many eccentricities that are called by the same name, such as starting to burn a strange incense and filling the whole mansion with a stench. It was the siblings. Her ceremony was nothing more than one of the aged Kinzo's obnoxious hobbies. Father, just what do you mean by that? Can assist you, we'll do anything, right, Rosa? Yes, but what in the world is it? Her ceremony as inscribed in my epitaph. A ceremony to revive Beatrice. And open the door to the Golden Land. That witch was kept a cage of flesh and sneeringly slip through my fingers. I shall not capture. And force into submission with my greatest hidden art. For that purpose, I must offer 13 people as sacrifices. Gathering 13 people's worth as sacrifices is no easy feat. But tonight is a family conference. Many adults have gathered in Rikkenjima. It could be no other day on which to carry out this ceremony. Taken literally. It sounded like he was telling them to become human sacrifices for his duck ceremony and die. What? No, there's no way he's being literal, right? He's gotta be okay. Yeah, it's figurative. He's just figuratively saying that. Hi, Slav. What's up? Ridiculous? Was it some kind of metaphor? Or they didn't even have a clue what he was trying to illustrate. Siblings whispered together about what Kinzo was playing. He's just playing around. Oh, true. What's that going on about? Is this his usual sickness? Probably. Listen silently for now. I'm sorry, Father. I don't understand what you mean by that. What is it you don't understand? I am making this extremely simple. I told you that I'll choose 13 of the humans on this island and offer them as sacrifices in a ceremony to revive Beatrice. Even worthless people like you can be very useful as sacrifices in my ceremony. Yeah, sacrifices, it means like... I don't know, either he's gonna get the drop of blood from them or something, for some magic bullshit. This is not a joke nor anything of the sort. This is my final bet, my final ceremony, the last one I will desire in my life. There are no more than 13 humans on this island. In short, since I had count, I can easily satisfy the massive number of sacrifices I require. Become the sacrifices for my ceremony. Kinzo, you weren't serious about what you said back then, were you? It wasn't a joke? Unusually for him, Ninja's face changed color as he stood up and shouted. It seems this wasn't the first time Ninja heard all this dark talk about 13 sacrifices. Sorry, my friend. That was no joke, nor anything of the sort. It is what I bet my life on. The final ceremony. The final game that I will attempt. Yes, this is a game. If gaining my fortune and leaving the island is your goal, there are only two ways to achieve it. Will you escape being chosen as one of the 13 sacrifices and spectacularly survive by finally solving the riddle of the epitaph and stopping the ceremony? Or will you kill me and thereby stop the ceremony? Those are your only two options. By now, everyone wasn't just whispering, but chattering and muttering away. Even the siblings had noticed that Kinzo was beginning to act abnormally. Father, are you a little tired? Kinzo, has father been drinking? No, the master is sensible. Sorry, Dad, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Dad's free to start up any weird ceremony he wants or revives a witch he loves. That's his hobby. But he can right up than that. And being made into a human sacrifice. He's a little more than they can handle. Rudolph, are you trying to interrupt, Father? What are you talking about, sister? You expect me to listen to something that shady and say, oh, really? Was the ceremony Kinzo had mentioned literally something disturbing? Or was it some kind of test to choose a successor? It seemed that Rudolph had taken it literally. But Eva apparently still believed that it was something like a test, or examination to find a proper successor. But Kinzo responded with a clear smile. Well then, that's all I have to say. No objections or opinions are necessary from you. I will simply awaken from my dream of having 4 unsuccessful children. To all of you, what will occur now before your very eyes may seem like a dream, an illusion, something that couldn't conceivably be of this world, and a world that defies understanding. But that itself is my reality. Now, I will finally awaken from the shadow useless dream that all of you are. Come, the game has already begun, see? With this many of you here, I can't take life starting with anyone. So long, my successful children, able to find no time and only time in your lives. Be useful for my ceremony. Arise, Pendragon's memorial troops. What? When Kinzo raised his arms high like an opera singer and yelled towards a packed audience. The hair shadowed like glass, and the outlines of 3 people who supposedly had then been invited to this island appeared. Oh! Hello! Sister 45 right here! Not you! Hi! Sister 410 right here! Hi! Hello! Hello! What? Oh, this one's lame. Just a 0-0 right here, sir. Just heard that sound. That was the sound of, yeah. A weapon of the Sisters' Cavalry, which serves Pendragon. Zero is their common composite leader. However, this is merely the role demanded of her, since she is far more frail by nature. 0-0 excels at reconnaissance, in serving as an advanced god, displaying extreme supremacy in unexpected encounters. However, her excessively powerful fighting strength has been called inhumane, and it is rare for her to be lynched and abused when she surrenders on the battlefield. Her one eye silently speaks of that. Best Chister. I mean, look at the one on the left, like right now. Look at the one on the left. It's getting out of hand. No, there's 3 of them. I don't give a shit. You're lame. 3 girls with strange forms suddenly appeared behind Kinzo. Where from? When? Who? Who were they? The humans were thrown off balance, and their minds went blank. Because they spent all that time thinking. They lost their last chance to survive. You have permission to shoot 6 to death. It leaves the choice of targets up to you. Begin your attack. Unrestricted firing. Understood, sir. Thank you for granting us such excellent targets. Everyone, commence on restricted firing. Nihi, first one in, yeah! True! When Poltan struck the air with a finger, a golden bow appeared in empty space, and she pulled the string. The golden arrow that had been readied there was fired off without any hesitation, flew around the room leaving half of gold curves everywhere, and chose Natsui from among those sitting at the table of the family conference, pulverizing the left half of her face. Flesh and deep red blood scattered around, leaving massive red spatter marks on the relative's face, and a pure white tablecloth. Silence fell, despite the massive number of deep red spots left on the tablecloth. No one could understand why Natsui's head was half smashed, nor why she was hanging her head as though dozing was still sitting. And they watched on in silence. Those sitting on Natsui's right-hand side were silent for a relatively long time, but those sitting to her left were not, because the people sitting on that side had been shown her head has been smashed open like a watermelon or a pomegranate, and could even see inside her. Natsui! One down. Natsui, is it? The luckless woman to the end. Next, 0-0 firing. So scratching the empty air in the same way and raiding her bow. 0-0 fired as well. After it flew around and around at high speed like a golden arrow, foretelling and released, drawing a convoluted curve in the same manner. Smashed half of Rudolph's head in the same way as he looked at Natsumi in shock, killing him instantly. I knew Rudolph would die, because the men usually never survive. This time, everyone managed to avoid freezing up mentally. They realized that the fearsome murderer that started playing out right in front of them, just as Kinzo had said. And they realized that Kinzo would probably kill even more, maybe 4 more. It's 4 + 2 is 6! That's what I would sound like if I was in that scenario. Real screams burst out. Even so, they didn't know what to do. So they could only keep screaming and flapping their wide open mouths like goldfish. But father, what do you think you're doing? You fool, run now! As if asked Kinzo died in total shock. Hideyoshi will come to his senses faster than anyone else and risen to his feet. Put at harm from behind. However, merciless fate's choice for the third sacrifice was Hideyoshi. No! Just like the 2 before him. Half of Hideyoshi's head was neatly smashed, and the right side of his head, which had happened to be facing at that direction at the time, been blown away with its contents exposed like a watermelon or a pomegranate. Twice they made reference to like those 2 fruits at once. That must be an important clue. So, still holding Eva, Hideyoshi slammed backward and fell down. Still held by her beloved husband, Eva fell over backwards with him. Dear! Eek! Eva screamed. It was only natural. The face she had been looking for had been half lost. And this crushed skull, the mashed brains, and the crushed jaw all lay bare. 45 impact, it's a hit! Spectacular. Fire again. 3 more remain. Father, what is this supposed to be? And Cross stood up forcefully and was about to rush Kinzo. 0-0 blocked him. With a slender-looking body, she held back Kinzo with just the palm of her right hand. He still tried to resist and attack Kinzo, so 0-0 lifted Cross by the nape of the neck and twisted it to his Adam's apple with her thumb. It seemed to be very painful. Cross was overcome with agony. Everyone run! Get the police, an ambulance, quickly! Everyone, let's escape! Escape! Natural shot words finally dissolved the spell that had been holding them down in their shares. Should have been mean. No, it shouldn't have. As I said, it's not the best shifter at all. You're delusional. When good at Kumasawa, each tried to escape from the dining hall first. Or then moved in an instant and appeared there, blocking the way. You sure are slow, yeah? Did you think I'd let you escape, yeah? Help me! Goda duck! Into Goda didn't understand. He crouched when he heard Kira's sharp voice. Then a burst of air rushed above his head. Kira had taken a big swing with a chair to mow forth and down. Hell yeah! But 410 is still a mocking expression. Easily cut that widely swung chair with a single hand. Hell yeah! Both of them are cool! I hope neither die. Shit. What a scary woman, yeah? You really gonna go the same way as your husband that much? It was a cuff of a harm where she had cut the chair. Something like a shining golden snake appeared, wrapped itself around the chair and burst open. It was a fearsome power like a vice. When Kiri realized that the being in front of her, which looked like a girl, was actually something that surpassed human knowledge and that a human could not even begin to oppose. Her head was filled with a fierce alarm bell that welled up from deep inside her. Please don't die. Genji, Shannon, and Cannon, although servants permitted to wear the one-winged eagle, continued to stand calmly at attention by the wall, even with a scene like this before their eyes, making them look very bizarre and eerie. For an instant, Kiri thought that they managed to stay calm because they were with the enemy, that had been given a guarantee that they wouldn't be killed. But as soon as she thought that, the sight of Genji's face was blown away before her eyes. One spit GIF? What are you talking about? Genji-san! 45 impact! It's a hit! Oh, Genji, unfortunate! Rest in peace, my friend. Your death will not be wasted. You will become one of the 13 keys essential to the resurrection of my beloved witch. The half of Genji's expression that remained was as indifferent as ever. He tilted, fell over, and said the blood red splatter across the floor. All dead. Where's the two of it to die? Genji! We're nothing more than the witch's pieces. Nothing more, nothing more. But became frustrated. No! Resigned expression on Shannon and Ken's face. One couldn't send any hopes that would be rescued. That's right! Kinzo was, in the truest sense, carrying out these murders at random. In the truest sense, he was killing like it was a game to see who would be saved and who would be killed. Well then, who will we go for next, Nya? Forten looked at Kiri for a second. In that second, Kiri was prepared for her own death. But when she readied her golden bow in midair, Forten was looking at someone else over Kiri's shoulder. So, as imprudent as it was, Kiri felt as though she had been saved. No! Again. Don't die, Kiri. An ugly, exploding popping sound rang throughout the room. What was it this time? When Kiri turned to face the direction of the sound, she saw blood gushing like a fountain, and Eva lying on her husband's chest. Of course! Her face had been half smashed like her husband's. Forten had mercilessly targeted Eva as she clung to her husband's corpse, sobbing. Let go of her! Let go of her! Just stop it, father! Just stop this brutality! Oh, let go of him! Run away, Rosa! Rosa's rejection didn't reach Kinzo as he continued to laugh loudly in the blood-spattered dining hall, and she was unable to lessen Cross's pain at being lifted up by the nape of the neck by 0-0. Rosa had no choice but to use force. She lifted up a chair beside her and gave a warning. She is the strongest in this room. She has trained beating up people for like her entire life. Kinzo, beware. Father, hold her to let go of Nissan. Just stop them from doing this. You cannot. If that is what you desire, then prevent it using your own power. Put a path through to your own fate with your own hands. You have always hid behind the backs of others in fear. Let me see how you overcome your weakness one last time in your life. Father. Thank you for the follow, Sync. Very appreciated. Welcome. The chair that Rosa had lifted up, swinging down at the father, what reigned as a symbol of terror for her entire life, was the greatest and final act of bravery and self-control in Rosa's life. What Kinzo had said might have been true. If she had grasped that courage much sooner, her life might have become more free and unrestrained by anyone else. Then there was a bursting sound. The sound of Rosa's chair fiercely eating Kinzo could not have been this. With the chair still lifted up, he nearly lost half of her head and slumped over. Yes, Kiri's alive! Yes! Hell yeah! Kiri! Kiri! Yippee! As one might say. Yippee! I fucking hate myself. She nearly lost half her head and slumped over. Still holding Cross up with one hand. 0-0 had stuck her overhand out towards Rosa. The golden snake released from that arm had constricted Rosa in a helix, and had smashed into her head. Defensive firing. I apologize for this custody of shooting so close to you, sir. I cannot. So this makes 6 people. Yes, Lord Goldsmith. This makes 6 people. And she indifferently communicated that to 0. 0 let go of Cross, which had been lifting up this whole time. Indeed. So the sacrifices of the first Twilight were Eva, Rudolph, Rosa, Natsui, Hideyoshi, and Genji. Echo cackle. It was a massacre that happened in an instant. The interior of the dining hall had been dirtied by blood splatter, where the 6 unlucky victims lay with their heads brutally exposed. In a way that was fitting for that abnormal space. Kinzo's abnormal laugh alone echoed out. Okay, but can we see more fort end though? I would like that. The curtain has finally risen. The ceremony to revive Beatrice has begun. You lucky ones who have managed to escape the first twilight. Allow me to introduce you to my friends. Arise, my friend. Run away. The goat! The goat is waking up. Hell yeah! The goat! What are the 72 great demons? Yeah. The cookie he bakes are superb. Pleased to meet you, everyone. And good day to those of you I haven't seen for a long time. It seems this place is once again spectacularly untidy. Pay it no mind. Biggest ore farmer, on guard. Like, holy shit. Kinzo is good at it, but like, run away. Oops. It takes a stimulus of this level to wake me from my daydream-like days. Allow me to introduce my friend, a reliable butler, and one of the 72 great demons. Run away. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. Just who was making that introduction too? Cross and Kiri were still down on their backsides, and Nenjo, Goda, and Kumasawa could only look up at this middle-aged gentleman they didn't know in shock. Only Shannon and Cannon seemed to recognize him, and they bowed deeply. So, I was unable to greet Genji. I hope he was at least able to fulfill his purpose painlessly. It was an instant death from a direct hit to the head. We didn't have time to feel the pain. Is that so? Very well. Allow me to introduce another friend. Arise, my friend, Virgilia. Okay, so the whole Kumasawa is Virgilia bullshit was a lie. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Once again, a silhouette of someone of the relatives didn't know appeared from empty space. She appeared in a refined dress while making an elegant greeting. Thank you for summoning me, master. Although I would rather not have been summoned into a bloody place such as this. Allow me to introduce her too. This is both my friend and reliable counselor, Virgilia. What do you mean, this sound again? She was already introduced, though. All of the goats. Seven sisters. Okay. No retired on the Switch. That is a very big dress, holy shit. Like, Beatrice's dress is pretty big, right? But this is on another level, holy shit. I desire to borrow your great powers, of which of the finite lend to me. Even if I tried to refuse, such a thing wouldn't be permitted for one subordinated by the power of your summonings. As you wish, master. Oh, what a fearsome fellow. To think it's someone free of the Sister's corpse, then me, and even Virgilia. Even though it's only in the area of summoning, to think that he suppresses Malay is so thoroughly. Oh, frightening. I can't help but shudder at the Shermia blood. Wait, does it? You're right, holy shit! Very convenient. The potato lands are great. In order to carry out Beatrice's resurrection ceremony, I shall give it my all as a summoner. This still isn't enough. In order to perfectly succeed in the ceremony this time, I shall summon more. The Pendragon Memorial troops and Rodovan Virgilia. I can still call more. With my magical power, I can still call many more. Answer to my summons. One of the 72 demons. Gaff! That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if we were going to introduce any more of the 72 great demons. I'm glad we get to see one more. It's going to be so lame compared to Runaway. I'm calling it before he appears. It's going to be incredibly lame. Ga? You can even materialize her? Probably means that the corrosion advanced even more in the silence. It already proceeded far enough to materialize us. Like now, we shouldn't be surprised no matter how great a demon he summons. Will Kenjima already be completely sucked into a parallel world then? I hope he does not surrender. He learned a lot last time, correct? After all this time, he won't surrender over this much. Probably, I should say. Well then, shall we enjoy the stage we now start upon? Being the main character is the master this time. Okay, so from what I understand, this time around, we know the culprit, and our goal is to figure out who the culprit did it. We no longer have to think about who the culprit is. That's going to be the goal of this episode, is my guess. Expect the script of a different flavor than my ladies. When Kinzo strongly concentrated his magical power, a pale light gathered in the empty air, twisted, and the magic circle was drawn there with a deep red glow. You can't be fucking serious. Worst fit in Umineko, yeah! Holy shit, what the fuck? Holy shit, dude! Dude, are you kidding me? Side booed. What about side everything? Yeah, and only on one side too, that's so silly. That is very silly. You did well to answer to my call. Dap, one of 72 great demons. I bet you there's gonna be a character that's gonna be making me banned, right? Well, like she's full boobs out. At some point, I genuinely believe it's gonna be a full boobs out character. This is one little place you've summoned me to. Also, Beatrice's friend, when the magician dimension, she grants the ability of instantaneous movements. She uses this extraordinary power for playing pranks mostly. Her specialty is hiding keys and bags during busy mornings. However, in the context of closer mysteries, this power becomes an ultimate weapon that can easily strike a finishing blow. Her queen bee strikes are like to pierce any and all detectives, forcing them to surrender. Dude, look at this. He was only a shit. Like, there's no panties either. There's nothing there. This is clearly just like, it's like Tatsumaki, but Umineko. This is one hell of a place you've summoned me to. Did you call me to clean up this blood-stained room, cool Smith? The literally devilish woman, wrapped in a venomous, ominous costume, looked at the scene which should have made her cover her eyes and twisted her mouth in a grin. Who summoned you for such a reason? Be like using cashmere muffler to mop the floor. It's been a long time, yeah? Looking for the great demon such as yourself has finally appeared on this island. Perhaps this island is finally submerging completely into fantasy. This all sarcasm is even more surprising than the gruesome state of the room. Oh, full three Chista sisters, the great demon Ronove, the great witch of Virgilia, and even me. What's going on? Is this pandemonium? Are you trying to start a concert from hell or something? I see. As the conductor for that, I couldn't think of anyone better than you, Goldsmith. I will have your assistance as facilitator in the completion of my ceremony to resurrect Beatrice. You have no objections to my summoning contract, correct? Oh, of course not. There's no way I could resist the subordinating power of the legendary great summoner, Lord Goldsmith, who forced the famous great witch Beatrice to do his bidding. I'll assist you. Although, I will, of course, ask a fitting price. So, what's my first job? Capture the cowards who made it through the first twilight. Fortunately, there are still 7 here, aren't there? If these even now will offer the sacrifices, that's exactly 13 people. Until it's time for the second and later twilights to be carried out, throw them into the cage of sacrifices. Catch me up, huh? Understood. As Garrett shrugged her shoulders, she looked at Cross, who was still down on his butt. She glared. Then, when she snapped her fingers, Cross was sold up by the floor as though a round pitfall had opened up beneath him. One down. There was no hole in the floor, but it certainly looked as though Cross had been swallowed up by a hole and disappeared. searching for our next prey. Gap's gaze crossed Kiri's. Snapped her fingers. Kiri jumped back as the door played. Her instincts had been right. After all, in the place where she'd been until a second ago, a round jet black hole had appeared. The same kind that I swelled up across. Why is she so goated? Okay, genuine question. Why is Kiri so goated? She's so cool and amazing. I love Kiri. Before she could catch her balance, another pitfall appeared and swallowed her up. Even Kiri had no way of eluding Gap's capture. So wait, he just fucking fell down. You see him for one frame and he's already falling down. Wow. When she snapped her fingers again, the shocked ninja was swallowed up by the floor and appeared. Seen Kiri's pachinko sprite. I think I did, and I think it looks awful. I think I remember. Send it again. Let's do it again. Poten let out a short yell and jumped back. This time, a slightly larger pitfall had opened, swallowing both Shannon and Cannon, who had been standing in a line by the door. But because Fortin had jumped away from the door, the way was no longer blocked. Instinctively aware that he would be next, Goda dashed out through the door. Hell yeah! Goda is also good at too. Of course, Kumasawa also escaped with lightning speed, chasing after Goda. As Gap snapped her fingers over and over, jet black pitfalls opened one after another behind them, chasing them. Oops. However, they did nothing but drive the recklessly fleeing pair away. I couldn't swallow them up. Goda and Kumasawa had escaped in a matter of seconds. I've gotten slow! I'll let two get away. Don't worry, we're currently locking onto the escaping targets. Data link ready. Shall we snipe? No, I cannot authorize that. Like precious sacrifices. Wait for the master's authorization. Great Lord Goldsmith, we await your order. It's still too soon for the coming of the second twilight, is what the source of my magical power is whispering to me. It must not be now. Let them do as they please. It isn't as though we can escape from this island. The source of the master's magical power is noise and risk and test of blood. In other words, it means being fickle, it would seem. Okay, you sent it to me, let me see. Oh, beautiful! Oh, beautiful! Why does this sprite, like, she probably looks like this if you compare like with the size of the other sprites, right? She probably looks like this. This sucks so bad. What the fuck, dude? Well, like, come on. I know she has big boobs, right? But this is too far. This is way too. I love the gravity-defying shirt, by the way. Right? Like, okay, if you look in the normal dress, you can see that it's lifted up by this badge right here, right? Right under Kiri. It is, I do believe it to some degree. It doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like it's vacuum sealed and like inflated to the point it would pop at any second. Boobs don't work like this. Boobs do not work like this. Just so we're clear. Plus, look at the face. I mean, it's a common problem with like PS3 too, right? Like, look at the faces next to each other, right? Okay, well, now I wonder. Give me a second. Now I'm wondering. I need to test this. Can I cut out the I guess not. I need to do it manually, I think. I think I need to like upgrade the size of the head. I'm gonna try and like paste it on top, right? Maybe like this, but I think it needs to be like twice as big. I want to see what it looks like. A bit too big. 180 maybe. It looks about the right size. Maybe a bit too big again. 160. Here we go. I said 160, motherfucker. Here we go. That seems right. Okay. Now let's paste her head. The Ryukishi head. Does that help? That's my main question here. Does that actually help? We're making her look good. Honestly, that helps. That genuinely helps to some degree. It doesn't look as bad now. Although I do need to fix something because it's gonna piss me off. Here we go. I had to fix it because it was pissing me off. There you go. Yeah, you know what? Doesn't look as bad. I think it's the head. I think it's the Pachiko's fucking Kiri. Wait, let me try the other way around. Let's see if that works. Right? What about the other way around? Crop the head out. And we can decide. Okay, it looks okay, but I need to like cut it up properly. Here we go. Which looks best? Which looks best between the two? What do you think looks best? What do you guys think looks better? I have to erase the parts of old Kiri that are useless. Right? Like for example, all this is a bit worthless. I need to remove this too. Wait. Wait, am I stupid? I can use the eraser. Forgot that's a thing. Here. I was being too annoying with it. Here we go. Beautiful. That was good, right? What would you prefer? Again, between the two. I think they're both as good. I think they both look as dog shit. Or do you think it's better even with a freaky boost? True! The fact you're doing all this advanced editing in Paint, so I forgot to suppose Tremors is so blurs. Listen! Listen, I am just being really cool and amazing. That's how that works. I am in your Paint, by the way, I forgot to say this. G515, I have no idea what G515 is. But welcome to G515. But I don't use tools such as proper programs and useful methods to do anything. I very much work by... I don't even know what I'm doing right now. At this point, I'm just scribbling shit. I just want to like have a clean. You know what? I want to do something. Here we go. Give me a second. I'm gonna remove this to the right. This is awful. Right? Okay. So. One or two. Let me make a poll on my Twitch. I want to know what you guys think is better. I need to go on my channel. Give me a second. Go to dashboard. Wait, I remember what G515 is. I'm stupid. Never mind. I'm stupid. Okay, but nonetheless, okay. Let me make the poll that I want to do. New poll. Which Franken-Kiri looks better? 1, 2, 10. If you guys want to vote on this, there we go. I'm gonna put this on screen because I want to know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know which one looks better. The boobs and the face are all like so cursed that I think like they completely destroy any chance of them both being good. Right? Give me a second. Let's go back to Umineko. Meanwhile. There we go. Desktop. Untitled. Here, let's leave it in the corner for now. Right? Right here. It pisses me off so much. I fucking hate those Kiris. They look so bad. I hate them so much. Okay, let's keep reading. The source of the master's magical power is noise. Okay. Perhaps you could also put it that way. Good work, Gap. Let's still leave events to ceremony from here on. Well then, that is that. Next time my grandchildren, I will test them to see whether they are qualified to become my successor. I'm gonna bet that he's gonna hate Battler. He's gonna either love Battler or love Maria. Either of the two. Let's see. How should I test their qualifications? Cackle, cackle. If you decide that they're qualified, do you intend to abandon Mita's resurrection? Of course! And despite that, I will test them. Perhaps a woman can understand their contradiction. No, my madness! Cackle, cackle. I fucking hate her dress. Wow. That dress sucks so bad. Apparently men are as weird as ever. The Kirilings stay on screen. Yeah, for the voting purpose. In case you don't see the vote, the poll. I can get the very concept of playing around with risk. Oh my, and I thought you loved that sort of thing. If you can't see the poll, just refresh, by the way. Sometimes you can't see it. Of course. If a man whispers to me about dangerous risks in love, I go head over heels. But only if he thought. Be quiet. Try to refrain from whispering. Truly noisy women. Wait, is Runaway a woman? Hell yeah. I mean, it depends. Is it like is he a mab or a fab? I'm wondering now. Because I'm confused now. But at least very boring. This is one next summoning, so pleasant. All of you will bear one side of the scales of noise and risk in my ceremony. This is the work I expect of you. Six brutally murdered corpses lay in the dining hall and was contaminated with red, gruesome decorations. It was not unimaginable that, until just a second ago, 13 humans had been arranged here in a well-organized manner. Kinzo lined up the famous demons and their subordinates, loudly declared the beginning of a night of overwhelming mass murders, and swore to himself that he would certainly revive Beatrice and open the door to the Golden Land. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now the curtain finally rises on the first twilight. Cackle. But Kinzo, I see laws being flashy as usual. So, even that human, who can be more persistent than anything when he follows you around, and shines so when he's on the stage? Always killing in a grotesque way as usual. Smashing half of the heads? That this you wishes and demons have always pisses me off. Smashing up their heads. I see. So she realized that, in the games up till now, it's been the most ideal method of killing. Ideal? Oh, it's such a grotesque way of killing ideal. It's instant death. You're able to recognize the victims. And it's easier to arrange the bodies. I remember the very first game. You! So you're that new demon or whatever that just appeared. Does this mean that the witch's coercion continued? And there are now even more creeps wandering around? The more the witch's coercion advances, the more Rokonjima tilts towards the spirit world. Do we have her in the... yeah, we did. And I read this. That's why strange insane people keep appearing one by one. This island has been closed off by this typhoon, so no human can leave it, which just appears a new character to increase their numbers. But the more the coercion advances, the more witches and demons can appear without limit, increasing one by one. Right now, there might be more demons than humans among the characters appearing in this insane tale. Yeah. Yeah, that's worth keeping. You don't say, you don't say. So many fucking characters, I swear. The numbers might be the thing that represents this mad coercion. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And the coercion has just affected the number of people. But apparently the fashion sense as well. If the coercion advances any further, and even more weird people appear, just what in the world would they be wearing? It's so scary, I can't imagine. He's getting horny. He's getting horny. He's horny now. Seriously, give me a break. Don't make these weird guys increase in number anymore. What's the sprite in PS3? Can someone tell me what a sprite is? I can't do that. They'll keep increasing more and more. I'll defy the Polish closed circle rule humans speak of over and over again. Welcome to my elegant game, Gap. It's been a long time, Rich. Oh, have you been well? Why do you ask? You look great. You gotten younger? You look 200 or 300 years younger than when I last saw you. Ah, I see. The demon grandfather had summoned and introduced us Gap. Look who glanced at me, and then grinned as though she'd figured something out on her own. That smile felt openly obscene. I guess she's Vito's friend. When she's gonna be a creep among creeps. By the way, I was saying something about a closed circle or whatever. But what does that mean? Real murder mystery novels that occur in places isolated from the outside world, like Rokonjima is now, are sometimes called closed circles. When such a place is isolated from the outside, it's like a circle that's closed. Therefore, in general, the characters and suspects are limited in number. The new suspect candidates are on one after another from outside the circle. Goes against the etiquette of mystery novels. In other words, the witch is probably trying to discredit humans and the mystery genre itself. You're Gretel. I see. You look like a wise kid. Giggle. I love kids like you. You taste so sweet and tantalizing. Gross. It's a joke, sir, clothing. It's Devilish Freddy's newest Jack the Ripper. Christmas. Blood, not boob. Blood. I misread. Sorry for having a style that a country bumpkin from the human world couldn't understand, okay? At least we know it's well ventilated. Why don't you add a gap to the head part as well? Let a little air into your brain. Gap is always sensitive to the fashion of the spirit world. But it is fat, truly is bold. Tipping a load of one sometime. Oh, you're rich. I'll recommend Ali Gray, at least in the graveyard. We'll go to 666 sometime soon to look at the clothes. You really should drop by the spirit world every now and then. When this game is over, I'll be sure to do that. Cackle, cackle. Hell, your two appearance are pretty cute, Rich, eh? It looks like this kid has figured out the meaning of the corpses with their heads half mashed. Know what that is, girl? Yeah, it's... My guess is 1. Hide whatever method of killing they used. 2. Scare people. Because, you know, that scares people like frightless, shitless. 3. It's... when it's not the entire full face. It's harder to say that one of them is pretending to be dead. Right? Which is what I suppose in episode 1 with Rosa, because Rosa's head was like half torn open. What does that mean? Just what it sounds like. Remember the first Twilight Observer first game. Okay. We can remove them now. I just wanted to have confirmation for the future. Okay, and I'm gonna fucking upsize them to like 50%. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. There's a very first game, when the adult corpses were found in the garden shed with the magic circle drawn on it. Remember? Somewhat. Episode 1. The first Twilight. Cross Rudolph, Kiri, Rosa, Shannon, and Goda. So 6 of them had their heads pulverized and died. At that time, there were 2 types of corpses. Some had their face pulverized, and some had half of their face pulverized. That's right. The ones with their face smashed were Rudolph, Rosa, and Kiri, and Goda. And she couldn't say a red truth about it. Are we gonna get red truths about episode 1? The ones with the side of their head smashed were Cross and Shannon. At the time, I fakely created 2 types of corpses, but I realized that the former, more atrocious type, was actually disadvantageous for me. Disadvantageous for you? I see. So that's what it is. That's right. The mashed face might look atrocious, but that made it hard to confirm the identity of each person. For example, at that time, Cross and Shannon had their heads half smashed. That alone was atrocious enough. Because half of their faces remained, it was easy to confirm their identities. But that and the other 3 were different. Because his face had been completely destroyed. Even I, his own son, could only guess by inference that it has to be Dad because of his clothes and the like. In short, it remained vague until the end whether that really had been Dad's corpse. This reasoning battle had taken place during the first game as well. I probably have claimed that, since the identities of Dad and the rest of his bodies were impossible to confirm, there was a possibility that one was a fake corpse. After all, Peter didn't state anything in red during that game. Well done, correct. A fake death is one of the basics of the mystery genre. But if you make a doctor examine the corpse, you can't trust the results if you suspect him of being the culprit's accomplice. Therefore, Corpses that can't guarantee a death for certain always disadvantageous for the witch's side. You can suspect fake death for all corpses, hypothesizing that one or more of them is a culprit for the crime that follow. It's a move Battler doesn't like, but it's the most elementary move to use against the witch. Yeah, that's right. That's why Bito started using the red. The red truth. You can carry out a perfect autopsy. Cackle, cackle. That's all it is! I'm only here for the first twilight. I would use the red truth right away, hoping the deaths of those 6. However, as you know, my battle strategy this time is the complete opposite of previous games. And now I will not use red truth starvation tactics. Then use it as a grounding from which to counter-attack. I will not use the red easily. I'll make you come apart the scenes by using red in just a single place, as rarely as possible. In the end, it means I'll permit all rents regarding you guys' work for all the closed rooms. Only have to smash one of those once with the red truth. Hehehe. Even though you've always teased me, also start counter-attacking. You know, all up back inside your shell. Put the game around. At any rate, I do not want to use a red. I want to be stingy. I want to bully Battler. But could I guarantee a death for certain without using red? I worried over it. Then Gap gave me an idea. It surely is a simple method. Careful. I just pointed out something obvious and you ate upon the idea, Rich. I simply said you only had to create corpses whose identity could be distinguished, and whose complete death could be understood. And sure, I put those two things together. The face, which is necessary to distinguish your identity, and the pulverization of the head, the vessel for the soul, which is the perfect symbol of death. I put those two parts neatly together. Ah, wonderful! I came up with the perfect answer of corpses with a face smashed. I bet you love to call it bread and to call it ice cream. Those suck, by the way. Anytime that it's like a bread or like pasta or something that's like retaste at once in like a single thing, that sucks. It's always awful. Just get like them separately and eat them at once. Make it yourself. Otherwise, it sucked ass. It's so shit. I'm just like a greedy kid. At any rate, even if half of their heads are smashed, we shouldn't assume that they're dead at this point in time. I get it. And Bito is trying to act tough and is refusing to say anything in red. We've gotta respect everything. Of course, I'm definitely not going to swallow the theory of magical mass murder by the Chister-ass Nissan. Did he really drop a Chister-ass? Do I remove the Nichan? The Chister ass? Or just the Chister ass Nichans? Which one's better? Nichans. Who seems to be termed quite liked by Battler. I never noticed. I think I'd like it like this. I need it to be like perfect though. I think it's better if I'm dodging upon both right here. Looks better. I get it? Okay. Okay, go. I'm sure I've gotten prudence. This was the first game we have solved everything. Cackle. I wouldn't have anything left from a rival. There is fortunately no red now. Can imagine whatever he wants and reason over and over again as he likes. At the very end, at the very sweetest spot, I'll cut him down at once with a red truth. Which means the reason why he's talking about blue truths, blue theories, is specifically so that she has to like smash them all down with one red truth and produce as many red truths as possible. Is this a good point to stop? Like 2 hours in, I'm feeling a bit tired. Is this a good point to stop? As I said, I'm still hungover from yesterday. I drank way too much yesterday. Or is it like a short chapter right after this? Is this a short chapter, or is it going to take like another 3 hours? Because if it's short, I'll keep going. If it's not, I won't keep going. Do you gonna do this scene? It's long. Okay. Okay, it's long. Okay. I think it's better than if I stop here solely for the whole purpose of when I come back and can be like, okay, the first twilight just happened. They introduced the worst fit in all of Umineko. We can carry on from then. Save. Jessica! Jessica! Hi! Hi, Jessica! Hello! Hi! Sorry, I had to. That was pretty cool! That was pretty cool. I really like that. That was a fun chapter. So, I'm gonna stop for today. Thank you everyone for coming. I'll see you guys for Umineko Wednesday. And tomorrow I'll play Hollow Knight, but not drunk. So that should go better. I don't even want to go back and look at the VOD for yesterday. I'm gonna cringe so hard. I was fucking wasted like crazy yesterday. So like, I feel like it's gonna be awful if I watch that again. Anyways, thank you for coming. Bye bye everyone. Have a good night. There you go.